Hi everyone. So we're gonna get started right now. So today we have lab four, which we don't have much things. I mean we have few things that we're gonna cover, but try to make it short today because I don't have enough time to actually um, make the entire PDF. But whatever I can cover today, yeah. But I have a few things that I need to actually include in other labs so that we can actually um, go even. So anyway, let me share my screen real quick. So I'm gonna share my screen. um okay, so can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Right. So what I'm gonna do here, so our topic is aggregate function and subquery and also Windows function. We're gonna get the basic understanding of those so that we know a little bit of what they are. I was planning to do the CMS, the Central Management System, but looks like it was giving some issue in my computer. So I will fix it and get those all those bugs sort out. Then I will actually show you guys everything, how I fix the bugs and so on. So anyway, so without further delays, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go to each slide and explain you. So our main part, for part one, we have the aggregate function and subquery and Windows function, which are very important. You in interview gonna face, you will see that they're asking about aggregate function, subqueries, or Windows function. So what is aggregate function? So if we go there, aggregate function, it's a aggregate function in SQL Server perform calculation on set of values and return a single result. They are commonly used with select statement to summarize the data in the table. So let me bring you the SQL Server. Uh, I have two databases. Or I'm gonna go to the student, and if I go there, this has a few of the database data in this table, student info table. As you can see, student ID 1234, student name, student age, student tuition fee, and so on. So with the help of aggregate function, we can actually do some sort of calculation. Let's say if you want to find out the sum of the entire tuition fee for the all student, how are we gonna see it? We can simply use aggregate function, and there is a lot of aggregate function that does it. So one of the aggregate function is called sum, which sum up the values. So it's like sum means just add up, so it will add up everything over whatever you see. So let's say I want to sum up of entire student tuition fee and then see how much they are. So if we want to do it, so we can simply do select sum. One other thing I want to show, if you wanna call out a column here, let's say you want to say student, right? Student tuition fee, it doesn't show here, it doesn't show on the list. So in that case, what you have to do actually, you have to actually call the table first. Call the table first from the table, right? And the whatever you write down, it will show. Look, student, you see, student tuition fee is now there because the object is already been placed here, so that knows that this student table has this object. So make sure every time, if you wanna speed up your process, you should always write down your table name first, right? From, and then you go with the student info, info actually. uh, so in that way actually, like now every time you write down some less s, it will show all those properties. Like look, student tuition fees there. Anyway, if I run it, you're gonna see all the students tuition listed there, right? But let's say if you want to sum up, you want to know how much altogether. So what you can do, you can actually use the aggregate function. One of the aggregate function called sum. Okay, so this is selected. So if sometime, I try to see, I don't want to select it, but it will automatically select it. In that case, what you can do, like go over there and then double click it. It will go change it to the ins. Anyway, I'm going out of topic, so let's stay in the topic. Select student tuition fee from student info. It will bring you the list of the student tuition fee, right? If I do the sum here, you're gonna see it is giving me the sum of the entire list over here. So if I as you can see, it's like $15,500 for the tuition fee. How do I confirm it? I can just do the I can see it over there. That's how aggregate function. If you can add this up, you're gonna get this 15,500 for all the student tuition fee combined. This is it. So this is what the aggregate function done. And there is other aggregate function. We have a min. It will show the minimum list, which was the least one, which is Anna's tuition fee is 500, right? If I run it, as you can see, it will say 500, which is true, right? If I want to see max, who has the highest one, you can see the max over here. It will see the max $5,000, which is also correct. If I go there, I'll see the max is max is Simul, who is paying $5,000, you know, and so on. And yeah, so that's how it works. Aggregate function mean max. We can also do count. It will show how many rows are there. 1 2 3 4 5 6 rows. You can see 6 rows, so 6, which is true, right? So that's the aggregate function. It's the easiest way to actually explain. So yeah, I have this over here, where I was doing some calculation of the standard cost, how we can find the standard cost. Let's say if you want to find the standard cost of something, you can just refer to a column. So I was working with the column called, if I go to this AdventureWorks, and if I go to the person over here, from there, if I go to the query out this, we can do bunch of things with this. I want to find something that has some standard cost. Let's say I found a table. Okay, this one does have a standard cost. This one does have a standard cost. This one. So as you can see, the standard cost for each row is listed. Some of them has 0, some of them has something. If I wanna sum them up, standard cost, I can just simply come here. I can modify this, delete all of them. I don't need this. I can just sum it up, some standard cost, and it will actually bring me the entire cost. Every it will just sum up. This is, if you count it, there's a lot of money right there. Max, it will find the max standard cost, which has the max. This, if you go there, the list, you will see there is this value for a single column. There is a value like this. Min, which is, I believe, 10 or 0. I think 0, which is right. If I go there, if I rerun it, okay, I'll just copy it, and so if I run it, excuse me. So if I run it, you will see the standard cost start from 0, and then it increases. It will increases actually. Eventually, look, it going pretty go. So that's how we do the aggregate function. And let me see. So this is what I was doing. Aggregate function, to retrieve the row with the sum them up, average. If you want to find the average, you can just say average, average. It will show the average of entire. I think you guys know the formula of average, how average works in math. So this is the same thing is working there. It just, let's say how many number. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will be adding up divided by how many numbers are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is just doing the math. Some math formulas over there. So you can do also average. So average is there. Some there. Count, you can count how many rows are there. Yeah, so these are the thing we call the aggregate function. There's a definition we have. It's aggregate function in SQL Server perform calculation on set of values and return a single result. As you can see, it is returning single result over here, right? This is what it's talking about. So yeah, this is what the aggregate function does. and then they just used on the select statement. We usually use the aggregate function with the select statement. So this is that aggregate function is done. And let's say what we have now. We have a subqueries. Subqueries is actually pretty fun. So we know we did the we can write a query inside a query actually. So a subquery is a query inside another query. Usually it usually works inside another query with the select statement, usually in where and having statement part of it. So you can actually filter out and then summarize the data. So let me give an example here. So first I will do one thing. So what I'm gonna do, so let's say if I want to see the let's say if I have the student tuition fee. um, so if I have the student tuition fee, which is which is which is student tuition fee, these are the student tuition fee. Now let's say find the max student tuition fee with the student name. So in order to, if I let's say if I use let me say if I say um let's say average or max. Let's if I say max over here, if I run it right, it does show the maximum um, average maximum average tuition, right? But the thing is that I don't see the name here. If I add, let's say if I add a student name here, student name, if I say student name here, you will see is breaking the code. It doesn't work because this is actually adding the numbers all together, right? S or float or any values is adding, but then it is try to adding these numbers up, but numbers doesn't add up, because it is working with one single base column, but then this is something different column which try to also add up, and then it is giving the issues as invalid selected list because it is not contained in either an aggregate function or group by clause, which is true. So in that case, what we can do, right? We can use these subqueries. So we can use the subquery inside a query, and that way we can actually um, see the maximum tuition fee for all of them, for the entire max tuition fee for a single student, but it will be added up to a single column for each of them. So let me show you how it's done. So I will do one thing. Let's say we wanna bring a student let's say student name, right? Student name, and then we're also gonna get a student tuition fee, student tuition fee, maybe tuition fee. So student tuition fee, and this is the two thing we wanna get it from. Where we wanna get it from? That student uh, that table. Let me go there, this table. So this is the table. So what we can do, so we can first do this, select everything from this two. We can just say not selection, this from the table, right? Which will show us the entire name and the student fees. Let me see what we did. Select student name, student fee from student review. I think I misspelled something. Student student name and student tuition fee. Yeah, I was misspelling the student tuition fee. Anyway, we can see the list. Now, what if I get the maximum of this student record and then added this to our subquery? In that way, what we can do actually also can show the student name with it, and that way it will not actually give us any issue. So let's try it. So what I'm gonna do, maybe do where. Now what I'm comparing to student tuition fee, and then equal to where, equal to this this is what we're gonna call subqueries. I can give the entire query, right? And then I can put it there actually, right? I can put it there, but I don't need the student name here because I'm comparing with the um, student max, right? Student, and then this should actually give us the student name along with student tuition fee in this time. Let's run it. Let's see if it works. So aggregate may not appear where where student fee is equal to student tuition fee. So what we didn't do, we have to bring it from the table, right? What we did over there, same thing we need to do over here. So this is what, yeah. So let's do this. So I don't think we need to give the so which is true, because if I go there, select from student, where is table, sorry. So if I run this one, you will see that simul, whose student tuition fee should be the max over here, and we're also able to see the simul's name over here because we use the subquery. Without the subquery, we wouldn't be able to actually see the both table at the same, both information at the same time. Let's say if we want to see the minimum, which is me $500, I can just cement, and it will show me the minimum of who is the person with the minimum tuition fee. So if I run it, we'll see the Anas. But without the subqueries, this is called subqueries, right? In query inside a query, let's say select this statement is repeating. First, what we're doing, we're bringing the minimum tuition fee with this query, which if you run it, you will see, right? It is what it is, right? It shows. Then we are comparing with this tuition fee. If it is equal, whatever minimum is, if it's equal to, then bring the student name and student tuition fee. That is how it's working. You guys need to practice a bit to understand. So that's how subqueries works, right? Subqueries actually pretty fun to play with, but time to time it might get a little confused, but then if you practice more, and then it gets easier. So this is what subquery is, and then this is what aggregate function, and aggregate function can be work in the subqueries like this. Look, this is I'm using the aggregate function inside a subquery. So this is that. Let me see what we have over here. So yeah, one of the example here over here, let me copy this one. I think, yeah, let me copy here this code here. So this is a select first name, select the student name and tuition fee from this table. Student fee is less than select student. Let's see what it brings first. So in order to understand subqueries, first you have to get this inner queries first. We also call inner queries sometime, right? Inner queries, subqueries, people. It brings the Ramim's tuition fee, but then it is with less than. So what is doing, this query is doing, actually bringing the all other information that is less than Ramim's tuition fee. So it is just bringing the is returning everything thing which has less than Ramim's Ramim's tuition fee, whatever. So it's bringing the Ramim tuition fee, right? Every other tuition fee which is less than Ramim. So because first we are bringing Ramim, and then we are putting the condition here, right? And if I run it, let's see if it works. So yeah, so Saeed, Muhammad, Almi, Anna. So it is bringing, I'll just put random data just to show you guys. So as you can see, it is bringing this any data is less than what Ramim's tuition fee is. If I have to run what Ramim tuition fee is, I just simply run this, and it return this number over here first of all, and it is compare with this number. If it is less than, then return this to this is how you can read those query actually. So this is that. Let me see what we have over here. So Windows function, yeah, so this is how the subqueries work. So you can actually use the subqueries with the aggregate function the way you want to play with, and it will actually retrieve this data. So this is that. So yeah, this is also I covered minimum. If you wanna see minimum, if you wanna see max, these are the aggregate function. You can just read it like this, or you can actually explore more. There's a lot of resources out there actually will tell you more about those, how you can utilize those aggregate function in your workspace. So this is that. We also mention what is subqueries. Subqueries is query inside another query, usually in where or having part. It lets you to use queries result in another. It helps to filter, combine to or summarize data indirectly. So yeah, so this is subqueries. This is a Windows function, right? Windows, as you can see, Windows function. There is a lot of Windows function. Is that let me give an example. Um, let's say I return some values. Let's say I return this 400, right? And this 400 I want to see for each records. Let's say there is another. I want to have another virtual column, and then that virtual column shows all the tuition fees, max tuition fees. Let's say this max tuition fee will be all over those within the same table, but it will have some virtual table, virtual column, and then it will list it there. With the help of the Windows function, we can actually achieve this. So Windows function actually pretty cool to use sometime, but it gets complicated. Yeah, so let me just because there's a lot of Windows function out there, but I'm not gonna cover all of them. What I'm planning to do actually, so this is row number. We have row number, assign unique sequential integer to. When you guys have a free time, please watch them. I have listed a guy. He has a better explanation of the Windows function, how they work. So you guys can practice there. So and then I have a explanation here, so which will actually give you a simplistic explanation to understand how Windows function work. So let's say I let me make it bigger. I don't know if I can make it bigger. Yeah, let's say I return something and it return 500, right? It adds up. Let's say it does aggregate function, and it retrieve these 500 as it sums up the 500, and it brings the 500 as single return value. But with the help of a Windows function, you can do much more than that. You just can bring it, and you can assign it to each column. I mean each rows, right? You can add it up here. You can like all the record you have, you can just assign to them, just like this. Like it has a 100, and this adds up. But guess what? It is 100, and then next column will have a 500, and for this record also, next column you will see a column with the value of 500. So we can do with the help of our partition. There's other. These are the function list. We have the over partition, which is in the Windows function, and we have the ranking Windows function, which is rank, dense rank, row number. When you in your free time, guys, please get the basic understanding of how they work. So it helps you guys. Value Windows function, and the first value, last value. These are the thing. Also, the explanation I was giving is here. So aggregate function just return the sum of entire value, just one single return. But then Windows function returns the entire what do you call entire return a single time, but it then added up to all of the rows, so that it adds up like this. 100 and it goes 500. So that's how you can use the aggregate I mean the Windows function. So let me give an example, a basic example, so you will understand what I'm talking about. So if you practice in a lab, it makes it easy. So let me do one thing. So let's say let's say select say name student name. All this not broken. Student student name, and then student student tuition fee, right? Now I'm keep misspelling this tuition fee, right? And then but then if I want to sum it up, we were having an issue last time, if we remember, with the without the help of our the subqueries. We weren't able to actually bring the related name for a max or minimum tuition fee, right? um, but with the help of subquery, we were able to actually perform it. We were able to show the student name across this data, right? Max or minimum, whatever the average, whatever the data you want to bring. We were successfully able to bring it. But if you want to aggregate, if you just use aggregate function, then add some other column, it doesn't work, right? But then with the help of Windows function, you can also resolve that issue same way, right? Let me show you. So the way we did in the subqueries, let's do with the aggregate I mean Windows function. So what I'm gonna do is student select student. No, let me put the call. Let me put the table, and then if I do the navigator automation, so the table name is student from student info. So I put the student info. Now if I say as, it will show the table's name and so on. So let's do the student tuition fee. Let's say student tuition fee, right? And I can sum it up. Let's show you guys what it returns. If I sum it up, you will see it sums up. What I'm gonna do here, because I will probably need to sub aggregate aggregate function select max from this in student information. Okay, so we'll have this uploaded in the things. So anyway, so Windows function, let's with over, because there are several Windows function we have over here. I'm gonna do this over. You guys can practice these others on your free time. Anyway, so Windows, I'm gonna do over Windows function here. So if I do sum here, it will return the sum of entire tuition fee. But then I want to also see the student's name, and you guys know that aggregate function doesn't work like this. If I run it, it will give us an issue. Or if I even put it anywhere over here, let's say I put it over here, it will give us an issue, right? Because it is summing up the entire tuition fees along with the student name, which doesn't make sense because these are names, those cannot be sums up. So what we can do in that case, what we can do, we can use the over, right? And then we can give an alias, anything as alias, total tuition fee, let's say. So I can do over. Now if I run it, you will be able to see that I was able to see the entire tuition fees sum of entire tuition fee, how much they are along with those students, right? So this is the things you can actually, guys, practice on your free time. So I want to also see the student. So yeah, let's do this so we don't get confused. We might think this is the tuition fee of this student, but which is not, which is just it's just this showing the total of all tuition fees over here. So yeah, we can use this over and some other um, Windows function in your things. But if I want to cover all of them, it will be take a long time. But this is how you can do. And I don't also remember all of the Windows Windows function actually. So yeah, this is how we can do Windows function. And if you wanna retrieve these subqueries, you first write down the subqueries and put the condition there, and then you can put your own desired column there, and that way you can actually bring this data that are so minimum, maximum, whatever aggregate function you want to use. We can actually use the aggregate function. One other thing I was supposed to cover, let me see, that uh, CMS. CMS I was trying to cover, but let me see if it works in my this machine, because I was trying to practice on another machine, it didn't work. So what I have to do first, in order to, I don't know if you guys remember what is CMS, central management. I think you guys remember the central management system. So central management system is just um, is how we can actually let me give the diagram here. Where is, why is not working? Okay, yeah, so I can draw it out here. So what central management does is just like, say we have one server here, one server here, let's say one server here. We're gonna make one of the server is a master server. Let's say this one is our master server, right? And whatever we do in this server, let's say we create a database, we also want to actually replicate other database, other servers here, this one over there. That's when we can actually configure CMS, or central management system. To configure the central management system, there's a few steps we can follow. Let's give it a shot. I'm gonna do one thing. What I'm gonna do, and make sure you have the same version of the server. Sometimes it makes an issue. uh, so production server over here, let's say I'm gonna connect two more server warehouse. Yeah, this is also same version. Let's say one more test maybe. This is different version, so I want to have some other version here. Let's say distributor, maybe distributor has same version. Yes, distribution of 16.0. So these are the servers I wanna make this production server as our master server, right? And then whatever database we create in the, let's say, or create a um a jobs where it creates a database automatically. Let's say schedule based. I wanna create a database, and I wanna also have those database created on this warehouse and also distribute a distributor. So what I can do, first few thing you have to configure that there's something called max cache operation. In order to configure this, the max cache operation should be to 0, set it up to 0. Sometime it is set up to 5, to any other numbers by default. So if it is something that different, so what you can do, go there, regedit, you say regedit, you can do regedit, go there, go to the things, and then you have to go to the let me just go to the H key local machine. When you go there, after you go there, you have to go to the Microsoft, right? From Microsoft, you have to go to the SQL server. You go to SQL server, you're gonna see your instance. So your instance gonna be listed somewhere here. So after Microsoft, right, go to the SQL server, and SQL server will listed all those instances you have configured. In our case, we are working with the production warehouse, and also the distributor. So go to the distributor, or any other production server. Let's say I go to this distributor. If I go to the server agent somewhere, server agent, yeah, there you go, server agent, and you have to find this something called maxed cache cache operation. It should be somewhere down there. If you don't find it, you just need to look it up real good. There it is. For all of the server, production server, warehouse server, or distributor, go there and then modify the value to 0. So it is already 0, I'm not changing it, so put that to 0. And then also warehouse server, to put that to 0. Let me see if it is there. um Next. Okay, I think this is, yeah, so yeah, this is also set it up. And also you can go to the distributor. I mean, not, yeah, distributor, I think. Yeah, so go to agent and then um distributor, yeah, this is also 0. So we all set in this case. Now we have to make sure which server you want to configure as master. So let's say our production server is a master. I don't want to put this as on our slide, because it is not, actually not all companies does this, some of the company, when they grow large, they want to sometime do it, but it's not that sometimes that useful to just create the database, and then is replicated, is being sometimes is useful, but not much place I haven't seen this. But yeah, some of the places do it, so it's good to know this how it's done. But that's why I didn't put on the slides. It's because it is important, but it's like something that you can find in somewhere, actually, anytime they, if you have to configure the central management system. That's why I didn't put it. So anyway, you can just follow the steps over here. So this is the first part, is just go to the run. All right, run, and then goes, if you don't find run, just type run here, or if and then click it over here, and then regedit, or you can press the Windows button and R at the same time, and it will bring this pen as well. And then once you've done it, what you have to do, go to the view. From the view, you have to see something called register server somewhere there. Okay, so register server. So once you go register server, come here, and then from the local server group and new server, configure your server here as a production, this one, and test it. If the connection is successfully met, then this is good, then save it. And what you have to do, you have to bring all other servers here in the central management server here, right? Central management server, bring your server, production server here, save it. It will be here. Now this is our master server. Now what you have to do, come here again, and then go to the new server registration, and then add other server that you want to make this is our master server, and warehouse and distributor, our slave server, our target server, let's say. So I'm gonna go to the distributor, save. I'm gonna also come here again and go to this new server registration, and go there, and then um, distributor and warehouse. Now this is actually configured. Now if I go there, if I go to the main server, production server, if I go there, server agent, you have to come here and come there, and multi-server administration, make this server as master. Let's see if it works. Email, sometime the email work in my email, you can put this over there, but as I don't have it here, so I'm not putting anything. So go there, next. This is our we're gonna put our all other server as nope, this let me go back again. I'm gonna close it. Go there again, make the master, next, next. um target server are distributor and the warehouse. So add these two here. Next. So these are successfully added up. Next. Finish. Let's see if it shows any error. If it doesn't show error, that means we have to do something else here. So let's see what the error is done here. So yeah, I target server. Yeah, so I was having issue, but I that's why I was having some issue, which I'm gonna actually try to configure. It was a raising issue, but that's why I was planning to actually um, configure it later, so that we don't face any issue actually. Um, yeah, so some of the issue I need to actually look it up and then actually show you guys, but yeah, something yeah, but I think link server is something that comes in handy when we wanna configure connectivity between the servers. And but yeah, central management system, something we're gonna touch maybe in the next lab. But I will have to find out what's the issue it's having, what the connectivity issue, that, and then I have to deep dive this issue, and then I will actually get back to you guys on this. This is the sentiment, but this is not something that we have to be worried about, because you're more likely not gonna see in, unless it's a huge large company like Google or Amazon. Then mid-sized company tend to not to use this kind of technology. But why not to learn, so that's why we're gonna actually configure in the next lab. Do you guys have any question for now? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have any question on what we did today?
Not for me, no.
Right. All right. I think we are all good here. So the practice on those things and practice on Windows function and these subqueries. Those are the things will come in handy in your in interview. Also, sometime when need to troubleshoot some stuff, what query is not performing, what query is not working, and so on. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I think this is it for today. We make it short. But in next, one more thing I wanna go over. So this is, let me go to the let me go over there. So if I go to lab syllabus, we're supposed to, if I go to the lab syllabus here, we're supposed to do lab on this chapter, lab 6. But I realize we have covered most of the thing in lab 2. Lab 2 session we had those wildcard. We talked about the character, how we can actually use the character, and so and how we can bring the data. I don't know if you guys remember, in day 2 we put we want to bring some data based on their name, so we put the name and we put the uh, you know those sign, those wildcard to bring this. If you missed this class 2, go watch lab 2. It will you'll know what I'm talking about. So chart set, how I use this. But then I also included, by mistake, I also included on the lab 6. So that's why I didn't cover this today, because we already have those things in lab day 2 lab session. So feel free to watch it. And also select statement combination of multiple column function, wildcard, Windows function, which we covered today. As you can see, we did subqueries, and then we did also Windows function. One of the Windows function we did is was not from here. We did over. Um, so these others are others works with the over. So feel free to, when you're in your free time, just go over them. Yeah, I think this is it, guys. So next, in next lab, what we're gonna cover, these are the things very important. As a DBA, you need to know what are the jobs, what they jobs, when to enable jobs, when to create the cluster index is very important topic. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about the virtual table and then table. We're gonna talk about temp table. Those are the things, stored procedure, and so many other stuff. So don't miss out that class. And also, I'm gonna try to cover the central management system if I have the time with it. Before that, we have some other things we gonna go over. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining the class today. All right, thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.